Starting line for Team Austria. The goalkeeper number 31, David Madalena. The defenders number 92, Primus Montenegro, and number 22, Sigurd Hunter. Forwards number 7, Ian Leper, number 27, Thomas Huntermont, and number 70, Manuel Galan. Starting lineup for Team Sweden. Goalkeeper number 31, Hannes Nilsson. Defenders number 6, Anna Egan Larsen, and number 23, Oliver Ekman Larsen. Forwards number 13, Mathias Janmark, number 93, Luka Svalia, and number 67,
Welcome everybody inside Royal Arena in Copenhagen, Denmark. Preliminary round action continues tonight. The late game, 8:15 local time. Sweden taking on Austria. The Swedes looking to move to a perfect 4-0 so far, with wins over Belarus, the Czechs, and France, while Austria came close on opening night to an upset. 3-2 overtime loss to the Swiss. Slovakia and Russia were their other defeats. Anders Nilsson getting his second start of the tournament was perfect, made 14 saves and shutout win over France. Down at the other end, David Melaner has an .829 save percentage. Sweden trying to keep pace with Russia, Mike Johnson. And the idea in this group is don't slip up in the race for top spot.
First place is so important in this group because there are 3 strong teams in Group B, Canada, US, and Finland. But if you finish first here, then you get a much better path to the semifinals and at least the bronze medal game. And that's what we're looking forward to when Sweden and Russia finally play, very likely for first place.
And away comes Austria, 2-on-1. This is Genau with a man in front. Pass couldn't get through. And that's Labler, couldn't load it up. Sweden playing short-handed in this game. IIHF Pettersson came up sick this morning, has been quarantined from the rest of his team, is not in the lineup tonight. And for a group that already only had 18 skaters, they're down to 17, just 11 forwards.
You know what, though, as a forward, I don't mind that. I want the extra ice. I'm not happy that Elias is not feeling well, but for one day, I don't mind getting a little extra ice time, double shifting every now and then. And a smart decision by Sweden, because in a short term like this, everyone in the hotels eating together all day long every day, can't have someone get sick and then pass that along to everyone else.
You saw the captain there, Michael Backlund, fired it up over the net. Michael Raffel, 29-year-old, with the Philadelphia Flyers.
A bit of a different role for him in this game, for Michael Raffel, that is that he was a centerman in his first game coming over. Now he's on the wing. His more natural position in the NHL.
Backlund centering Nyquist and Kempe.
And a big bump for Kempe with Pettersson being out. Kempe had to be the 4th line center. Now he's getting a chance on the 2nd line in a wing position, playing with 2 more skilled players and a chance to produce some offense.
Backlund leaves it for Nyquist. Loops across the line. Kempe comes across to take over. Kempe on the right side, throws it in front. And the puck bounces away. Back comes Rauschenwald. Rauschenwald steps around a body, throws it in to Nilsson, and he will cover up with the glove.
So Austria is plugging along, trying to pick up points they can. They lost to Switzerland in the first game, so they have 1 on the board. Their tournament will likely come down to their game against Belarus. The winner of that game will stay in the main pool. The loser will get relegated. If you're going to assume Korea will pick up 0 points in the other pool, the 2nd lowest team would be over here. Whoever loses that Austria-Belarus match.
Chipped in behind the Swedish net. Gustafsson plays it off the wall and out to center. Obrist spins, fires it back. Vancouver Canuck netminder Anders Nilsson out to play it. Kicked ahead for Larson. Stefan Ulmer over to an empty side. And away comes Sweden. In across the line is Gustafsson. A snapshot into the midsection of David Madlaner.
The strength of Sweden lies in their defensive core and their 3rd pair, and they've got Eric Gustafsson, played 35 games for Chicago, actually had pretty decent numbers with 16 points in just 35 games on a struggling Chicago Blackhawk team this year. Their first line has been dangerous with Zibanejad, Raquel, and Janmark, but below that they don't have the amount of depth that you usually associate with Sweden yet, because there are all these roster spots that are available should Nashville specifically get knocked out tomorrow night.
This is Janmark, off the wall, quick pass, oh what a save! Great chance in the slot there, but Madlaner with a beautiful pad save, keeps it scoreless. Raquel to Janmark. Janmark. This is Raquel on the wall, throws it behind the net. Zibanejad skips behind him. Adam Larson came down to keep it alive. Ricard Raquel entering play, 4th in tournament scoring. Into the middle, another chance, backhand glove save. Madlaner. Couple of huge saves from David Madlaner in the early going.
That's great passing by Sweden. Patience, and Ekman Larsson jumps inside his defender, but Madlaner outweights him. That was good, but I think that one's even better on Ricard Raquel from Janmark. Wide open, and a couple of the leading scorers for Sweden pair up for what would easily be a goal the way Rickard Raquel has been shooting it in this tournament.
Midlaner playing for Klagenfurt AC in his second World Championship. Turnover at the blue line. Thrown into Anders Nielsen, but puck came out over the line. Whistled on the offside.
And you just saw the challenge for Austria defending Rickard Gronberg's team. When Sweden is playing on top of their game, they will have the puck in the offensive zone, be very patient, work the cycle, and Roger Bader has to trust that his Z-zone coverage can hold up for 20 seconds. And that's not usually the case when you play. Usually it's 7 seconds at the most. There's a chance, there's a scramble, and off you go doing something different. But Sweden makes you work at it for 20, 30 seconds at a time before breaking you down.
Austria qualified the top division here. The big win in Division 1A. Kiev, Ukraine. Lost their first game and then ran the table. They're back in the top division for the first time since 2004.
They put up good games. Overtime versus Switzerland. 4-2 against Slovakia losses. Far from blowouts.
It was Hodem whistling it high over the net. Body there from Hampus Lindholm. Lindberg. Knocked out to center. Stefan Elmer. Into neutral ice. Chips it ahead, can't get there in time. Adrian Kempe. Michael Wickstrand dishes it for Backlund. And now Backlund gives chase. Down to the Swedish end. Kempe sees some space, takes it. Breaking through the middle of the ice, Adrian Kempe leaves it for Nyquist. Tried to step around Spanring, but puck was knocked away. Chicago's Eric Gustafsson dishes it off to Johan Larsson. He takes a bump. Lebler. Cross ice feed, off the wing. Hot shot into Anders Nielsen. And he'll cover it up.
Shooting test Anders Nielsen, who gets the start in this game. Swede goaltenders haven't been too busy in their games. Just 14 shots against, as you mentioned, for Nielsen. The shutout against France. Hellberg had the tougher assignments with the game early on versus the Czechs.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Long cross ice pass. Nice touch feed there from Päijarvi. It's Everberg circling back, throws it down into the corner for Päijarvi. Picked up by the Ottawa Senators. Oilers' first-round draft pick. There's Päijarvi.
Who had a great tournament here before he arrived to the Oilers in 2010.
A youngster.
The all-tournament scoring 19-year-old.
And here he is over the line to the forehand. Päijarvi spins and pushed it back through the crease. Got that breakaway speed. And there's Adam Larsson with a shot. Larsson throws it across. Janmark out of the corner, leaves it for Larsson. Larsson right out in front. And a touch shot there from Michael Backlund is stopped. Ekman-Larsson. Down into the corner, back to the point. Raquel coming off the bench. Adam Larsson. Puck is cleared out to center. Ekman-Larsson wants to keep up the pressure. Doesn't allow the Austrians to change. Raquel in and fires. Takes a hit and goes crashing into the end boards, but David Midlaner, the story so far, rock solid in the Austrian net. Solid showing from both sets of fans tonight here in Copenhagen. A pseudo home game for the Swedes. As Malmo, Sweden, about 40 kilometers away from Copenhagen across the Øresund Bridge. So plenty of yellow in the stands tonight. Back to the line, Klingberg swings it across. Kell couldn't find the tip in the high slot. Away comes Austria, headman pass for Raffel. In behind the net, Raffel still working away at it. And Dallas's Matthias Janmark. Up to Raquel, then for Klingberg. Lost the handle, Raffel was there. He's tired and he'll have to head to the bench. Headman pass too far. And that'll come back to the Swedish end of the ice on the icing call.
There's that last chance with Nagus Payarvi. The hard cut, get the leg out to protect it. Gather yourself. Now you've got hardly any angle at all, but he puts a pretty good effort on it. Slinging it right across the front of the net. Here you get a chance. Just almost not enough. By the time he released it, almost on the goal line for Payarvi.
Austria gets the face-off. Shumnik dumps it deep. Zibanejad up to Janmark. Ahead for Raquel. Ricard Raquel looking to step around. Defenseman. Working against 5'7" Dominic Henry. Chance in front. Hudam. Throws it to the middle. Adam Larsson. Bothered there, and bothered a little bit too much. Delayed penalty coming up here against Austria. On his horse is Jacob Delarose. Puck into the corner. Sweden with an extra attacker. Larsson. Down to Payarvi. Magnus Payarvi. Back down the wall, Anderson. Ekman Larsson throws it down low. Payarvi hangs on to it, buys some time. Sweden will regroup and set back up. Backlund to Ekman Larsson. Oliver Ekman Larsson to the middle. Low pass for Backlund. And a tough angle shot, but he had a sliver of space. David Melaner came across.
Ekman Larsson gives you fits as a winger trying to cover him. He just goes wherever he wants in the offensive zone and doesn't really worry about it. There you see the hook on Zwerger in the offensive end. Cannot take penalties against a better team doing that. I don't think it's any of these. It's this one right there into the hands. That's the one. The first couple were okay. The last one not so much. And there's that last drop off as Backlund hits the side of the net on a pass from Ekman Larsson.
Lindholm gives it to Kempe. There's Kempe again. Tried to load up the snapshot. Karam's off a leg, and Austria will clear. Lindholm on the breakout. Drops it off. Backlund gets it in over the line. Kempe down for Backlund. Touch pass. Nyquist shoots. Low shot. Pad save Midlaner. And Lindholm for Kempe. Nyquist. Back to Kempe. Back to the top. Lindholm down to Kempe. Adrian Kempe working his way down, fires, scores! Adrian Kempe with some time and space in the high slots. Fires a snapshot home. First of the tournament for him, 1-0 Sweden.
Michael Backlund will grab that puck as that's his first for the men's national team. Adrian Kempe, who's got a promotion due to an illness on the power play, and we saw him get one blocked earlier in the sequence, but that time he finds a gap. Trying to find a way to get through Omar. Look where this goes. Just inside the foot or knee of Stefan Ulmer, and past Madlener, who's been busy and good to start, but beat clean on a wrister from 35 feet. Adrian Kempe.
Coming off his first full NHL season, 37 points in 81 games.
He's got plenty of skill to spare. The more offensive role that he gets to play, the more production you see out of him.
First round pick in 2014. This is Klingberg on the intercept across the line. Sneaking into the left there was Johan Larsson. Klingberg, snapshot wide. Now Klingberg in the far corner. Somewhat of a rover back there at times. As the Dallas Stars defenseman. Fantastic offensive year for him, though.
Second in the NHL amongst defensemen in scoring. 67-1 behind John Carlson of the Washington Capitals.
Got to jump up into the play now and then. You're going to get those kind of points as a defenseman.
He's not, and that was under Ken Hitchcock, where a lot of people thought his offense might be stifled, but it bloomed.
Anderson feathers it across. Down into the corner.
Ekman Larsson behind the net.
Ekman Larsson behind the net. Oliver Ekman Larsson tries to throw it along the line. Now Adam Larsson in a tough spot here, has no stick. The ref had a close eye and was looking to see if he would have grabbed the stick of Zwerger. And Larsson goes and retrieves another twig from the bench. A solid defensive play. Icing waved off, steal, Kempe fires. That hit the side of the net. Patrick Spanring. Headman pass. Peter threw it into the middle, shot in on Nilsson. And he makes a glove save. 1-0, Sweden leads. Back inside Royal Arena, Ryan Rishaug alongside Mike Johnson. 8:20 on the clock. First period action between Sweden and Austria. Puck flipped out to center ice. Patrick Obrist over there takes a hit. Throws it into Sweden's end. Played up to the left side. Janmark. Dumps it down low. Few bodies collide. This is Gustafsson. Gustafsson and Wickstrand working the blue line. Gustafsson, the Oilers draft pick, drops it off. Played down low. Janmark, side of the net. Looks to the front and cleared away.
The danger when you have the puck, as much as Sweden has it in this game, is that you start trying to pass it into the back of the net. Sometimes you do just have to shoot the puck, like Adrian Kempe decided to do. Even though it's on the power play, that's not a brilliant play that they've created. But it's a willingness to put the puck on net. And seeing a lot of guys around the sides of the net trying to pass it to the back door, the perfect spot, instead of just keeping it a little bit simpler and looking to score.
Hampus Lindholm throws it in behind the Austrian net, down into the corner goes Klingberg, gets it to Backlund. Unterweger throws it down the ice onto Anders Nilsson, plays it ahead for Klingberg, who will leave it there for Kempe. Kempe between the legs pass onto the left side. Nyquist chips it around the boards for Backlund. He leaves it for Klingberg. Now gives it to the captain. Misfires back to Lindholm, and Sweden will regroup. Kempe over to Backlund. Backlund moving in, forced into the corner neatly by Shumnig. And back comes Austria. Manuel Ganal in over the line. Backhand feathered a light shot onto Anders Nilsson.
Ganal, who has scored in this tournament, tries to capitalize on a quick break. But now a couple of sequences in a row where Sweden has turned the puck over near and around the blue line. They want to exploit the top part of the offensive zone. They want to utilize their defensemen on those high pick and rolls. And it's going to be careful, because if it does not complete, pass are not successful, then there could be a chance for a quick break going the other way.
France, Austria, and Slovakia. A 3-game run for Sweden. Easier opponents. And the trick at this tournament, Mike, for these teams often is to not develop bad habits in games where they're so heavily favored. Järvi pushes it towards the net.
And that's where you got to try to keep each other accountable and on point. Call each other out on bad habits, bad turnovers, long shifts, all those different things, because you know going up against Roger Batter's team, you're very likely to win. Unless something goes terribly wrong, Sweden will find a way to get through this game almost no matter how they play. But you can't approach the game with that attitude that you know is true. And that's the challenge.
Because the Russians await.
Because Czechs are coming, Russia, quarterfinal, Canada, US, Finland, they're on the other side. It's not going to get away with anything against those teams.
Udam off the right side, pushes it to the middle. Penalty coming up here to Austria. And the Swedes will get their second man advantage. 1-for-1 on the power play so far tonight. Signals the trip on Alex Rauschenwald.
And the worst part about both penalties, they're in the offensive zone. They weren't made out of desperation where you're trying to protect against the goal. As Adam Larsson makes a nice play, he's taken off on you, and you get your stick caught up in his feet as he crosses over, and the big defender goes down. 2 penalties in the offensive zone for Austria.
So not doing themselves any favors here in the early going. Cross ice pass knocked away to center ice. Klingberg on the regroup for Sweden. Right side Zibanejad with a full head of steam. Puck off the glass, he gives chase. Bumped. Zibanejad threw it away. The Austrians do too. Klingberg, Ekman Larsson, snapshot low and wide. Looking for perhaps a deflection in front. Klingberg working his way down, shoot, save, Medlaner.
Aggressive off the line, well outside his crease.
Trying to catch the Austrians changing with the quick up. Klingberg, high slot, Ekman Larsson. Missed the net. Klingberg to Janmark. Looking for Oliver Ekman Larsson. Ricard Raquel over to help out. Austria can't clear. Klingberg, one-timer, fires, shoulder save. Medlaner didn't see it and it hit him. He was down in the butterfly.
He wants a whistle. He just told the referee he's got something going on with his mask. Maybe got popped off. That was the Zibanejad off his back foot. That's not where you generate your power from. And it did enough to pop the straps on Medlaner's mask. Get that put back on. You want to lean into it, but not. Well, there you see both straps pop off as that puck caught Medlaner in the chin.
Imagine if you would have shot off his front foot.
Oh, it's tipped up into it too by Ricard Raquel. The face-off should come outside the blue line. Here's an earlier chance from John Klingberg. Nice and aggressive and square by Medlaner, who you knew had to be great in this game for Austria to even hang around for a period, which they have now. 15 minutes and 5 seconds in, just 1-0 on the power play goal from Adrian Kempe.
With no shortage of opportunity for the Swedes. Have had probably 5 or 6 good looks at the net so far.
Yep, and they're gonna have 15 or 20 more the rest of the game.
Medlaner in his second World Championship, but the first time through in 2014 didn't play any games. Nyquist Looping over the line. A little too fancy, he gets knocked away.
That's not his game. He's not a stick handler, he's a speed guy. He's not going to dangle through the penalty killers.
Kempe back to Lindholm. Down low. Backlund working down there with Nyquist. That was Gustafsson coming in to throw a shoulder. Played to the near side, and enough juice to clear. Teams back at even strength. Austria with a successful penalty kill. They were a perfect 8 for 8 in the tournament, killing penalties coming in, tied for first. Off the right side, in comes Sweden. Larsson thought he saw something on the left side, but cut it too fine and missed wide. Larsson kicking it behind the net. Magnus Pjarvi. Puck thrown in behind the Austrian net. Another defenseman behind the net. That was Adam Larsson, this time deep in the corner, and a scramble next to Medlaner. It is down and he covers up. 1-0 Sweden here in the first. Oh, we mentioned Sweden with only 17 skaters in the lineup tonight. They only have 18 on their rosters. The second round of the playoffs finish up, Mike. Perhaps waiting for some reinforcements. And news in a moment on the Czechs, who are going to get their lineup bolstered. Raquel with a look, throws it down onto the pad of Medlaner. And a couple of Czech players going to be added. Important ones too at that.
Yeah, David Krejci, David Pastrnak, 2 Boston Bruins, both on their way to Copenhagen, leaving tonight, flying overnight. Will take part in morning skate, provided the travel goes smoothly.
2-on-1, Raquel over the line, to the backhand feed, scores! Oh, what a beautiful feed from Raquel over to Mattias Janmark. 2-0 Sweden.
Beautiful passing play. This #1 line, once again, stretching things out quickly. The transition game is just fantastic. Rickard Raquel drives it wide. And once he gets Barry Altman to turn and pivot, it's an easy pass underneath the triangle. Janmark just has to be strong on his stick. Got an empty net to dump it into. But it really is all queued up by the passing in their own end through the neutral zone. And then giving some skilled players open ice to make something happen.
Third goal of the tournament for Janmark. Played 81 games with the Dallas Stars this year, 19 goals, 34 points, solid season. The Red Wings' third-round pick. And it's whistled on the offside. It's his first international event for Sweden.
Yeah, there you see the passing. Janmark gets it quickly. Headmans it to Rickard Raquel. And I love this drag and pull out of the reach of Altman. Nice pass to space, trusting the speed and strength of your teammate.
Nothing Medlaner can do in that situation. And away comes Austria. This is Hunterfund. Bodied off the puck by Everberg. Now Everberg working his way through center. 3 Swedes approaching the line. Turn back over to Hunterfund. Looking to the middle. Turnover. And another one. And away comes Delarose. Hot shot. And mid-laner makes a save.
Jacob Delarose is an interesting character for Sweden and for the Montreal Canadiens. He's big, strong, defensively reliable. And when you watch him play, he does a lot of good things with the puck. He's just missing that finishing touch, whether it's to score the goal, to make the pass that would create a good chance. He does everything to get the ball to the 5-yard line, but he has a hard time getting it across to score the touchdown. You like all the good things he does, it just, they don't amount to as much as they should.
2 silver medals with Sweden in the World Junior Hockey Championship.
Reminds me of a different Montreal center, Lars Eller, watching him in Montreal, who eventually got a bit better at that. Maybe Delarose will do the same.
Tournaments like this can help with that. Larson shot in from the point, and that trickles wide. Backlund to Kempe. Left there for Backlund to Larson. Right in the middle. Oh, firing it just over the net was Adrian Kempe.
Just over.
Left all alone in the slot. Here he is again, and this time he dishes. Larson working his way down from the point. A pass right to Backlund in front, who got a stick on it, but Midlaner covers it up.
Kempe's got to check the lie on Loft on his shot. Oh, it caught the top of the stick. I thought he shot it down high over. He's going against the grain. He's got it pegged perfectly. That's a lucky save by Midlaner. And tough break for Adrian Kempe, who cannot believe it. Boy.
Shots are 13-3 Sweden. There's the final minute of play in the first period. Opportunity here for Austria. Snapshot just goes wide from Zwerger. One of their better looks of the period. Now another one in front and ripped wide by Hudam. Austria comes close in the late stages of the opening period. And wouldn't that have been something? Now Sweden on the steal, the shot. And Midlaner comes up big off of the egregious turnover deep in Austria's end.
2 great looks for Austria. Zwerger kicks it in front. Dome is trying to go far side blocker. And he just grazes the post. Take a look at how close this is. He's gritting his teeth in the middle of the play, and Navarro's, as you mentioned, terrible turnover. Going to be strong on the puck. Don't present it to the middle of the ice. You got a forechecker like Janmark on your back.
Lindbergh plays it down into the corner. Everberg. Harvey winds and fires, low shot. Just missed low and left. Eight seconds on the clock. Late look here for Heinrich over the line. Backhander, Nilsson. Blockers that away. Back to the line. Long shot from the point as the buzzer sounds. So the Swedes with all kinds of opportunities in the opening period. And a couple of goals. 2-0 they lead after 1. A very solid opening frame for Austrian goaltender David Madlener. Saw 14 shots, a lot of them high-quality opportunities for Team Sweden. Held them to just 2.
Okay, guys, stay outside.
Second period of play about to get underway.
Okay,
Ryan Lashog alongside Mike Johnson. Sweden looking to move to 4-0 on the tournament. Jan Mark moves in on the forecheck. Jan Mark drops it off for Oliver Ekman Larsson. Blocked away by Madlener. In the corner is Jan Mark. Ekman Larsson takes a bump down to Jan Mark. Back to the point, Ricard Raquel. Ekman Larsson to Jan Mark. Austria grabs possession. They're happy to slap it out to center ice. Stefan Ulmer. Hunterfund. And a stick from Ganal got into the feet there. And so Sweden will be heading to the power play. Nilsson heads to the bench. The extra attacker steps on the ice. Michael Backlund getting organized through the middle of the ice. Across the line, Backlund holds up, waits for help. Has it knocked away. Austria touches up.
And you never have the puck. That means you're always checking. If you're always checking, occasionally you'll get your sticks in the wrong spots, and Ganal puts it right between the legs of Adrian Kempe. And when you try to cross over with the stick there, you will fall every single time. Despite the protests of Ganal, he knows it. And Sweden's already got one. Adrian Kempe goal on the power play tonight. Back to work. Man advantage.
Third power play opportunity for Sweden. And the 5th ranked power play coming into the tournament. Sweden with 12 goals for coming into this game. The Russians have 20. Backlund across the line.
Sweden played the Czechs though. Russia.
Yeah, the competition definitely matters.
Even out as they go forward. But Russia has looked like the Olympic champion and a medal favorite, gold medal favorite so far. They've been unstoppable across the board. So.
And Finland has been an offensive powerhouse in this event as well, but
tonight,
scoreless against the hosts.
Freddie Anderson in net. For the Danes have Finland at 0-0 in the second period.
Apparently the time he spent in the Dreger Cafe inspired him.
Well, I don't know what Dreg's put in those cafes, but I could use one.
Minute 15 remaining in Sweden's power play. Ricard Raquel didn't like what he saw, so he circled back. Touch pass to the right side. And Zibanejad couldn't find it in his skates. Austria happy to let some time tick off the clock. Long shot down to Nilsson. Ricard Raquel onto the wing. Zibanejad rims it around for Ekman Larsson. Puck tied up in some skates.
Look at the numbers, 4 yellow jerseys right there, though. That's what you want, tight puck support until you get it. And then spread.
Janmark with it. Zibanejad right in front, scores! Quick feed from Zibanejad over to Raquel. Another power play goal for Sweden, 3-0.
Well, that's how power plays work. When you mix in the board play, hard work with the skill. 4 Sweden jerseys on that puck to regain possession, and then this beautiful slap pass. Zibanejad to Raquel. He gets right to the front of the net. And that is such a nice look. Schlager gets tight, trying to block a shot. Barros hasn't yet recovered to get stick position. And Ricard Raquel taps one in to make it 3-0 Sweden.
4th goal of the tournament for Raquel. He came into action tonight, tied for 4th in scoring. Continues to pile up his totals. 34 goals with Anaheim in 77 games this season. 67 goals his last 2 years. Become an elite goal scorer.
And a go-to guy in the Ducks team. He led the team in scoring this year with Getzlaf missing some time, but a team that only had 3 20-goal scorers, he was their lone 30-goal scorer.
He was great in the playoffs last year as well.
Nobody was very good against Martin Jones this year for Anaheim, no matter how many chances they had.
Puck fired down the length of the ice. Anders Nilsson will leave it there. Oliver Ekman Larsson swooping his way through center. And here's a chance now for Austria. Schneider in alone. Schneider pad save Nilsson. Oh, what a great chance for Austria. Clear-cut breakaway for Peter Schneider, and Nilsson, who's barely seen any pucks at all, comes up big. A rare mistake for the Swedes. Usually so good defensively. Wickstrand.
It's the danger. You get a little careless. You have it so often. You start making plays around your own blue line. You're not really fearing the opponent in any way.
Kempe on the dish. Zibanejad. Look for Raquel in the high slot.
Shoot that puck. Plays to shoot that puck.
Erik Gustafsson makes a nice move, and a better headman pass, far side. Janmark can't corral. Hampus Lindholm, the Anaheim Ducks. 6th overall pick in 2012. Played it ahead, Mika Zibanejad. Lindberg, back to Lindholm. His pass knocked away. And the Austrians come through center. On the blue line, Schlager throws it behind the net. Lindberg, headman pass. This is Janmark working into the backhand.
He had him mid-pivot, right where you want to go underneath the stick.
Couldn't quite get the puck through him. Michael Backlund trying to skate the puck out of trouble, but gets caught, turned back. Lindholm, between the legs pass, turns it over. Patrick Peter. Peter now to the point. And Anders Nilsson will glove that and hold on for a whistle.
Here you see the turnover at the blue line, dangerous. Kempe turns it over, and sometimes you almost have too much time to think on a breakaway. Schneider from his own blue line in clean. Never doesn't elevate it. Trying to go just above the pad. It's okay in the shot. Good decision, no problem. But he has to get it 13 inches off the ice. He went with 8. And Nielsen right in the middle of the pad.
.901 save percentage this year for Nielsen in Vancouver.
Started strong, like Vancouver for that matter. First 6 weeks of the season, then tailed off like the team playing in front of him.
Off the left side comes Ganal. Tries to center. Adam Larson is there. Get tied up with Ekman Larson. As two Larsons collide. Ekman Larson looking for Kempe. Passes behind him and all the way down the ice. Of course, the other news out of Vancouver this year in regard to Sweden. Sedins hanging up the blades.
Yep. No longer wearing this yellow jersey. Now they'll be carried on by the new up-and-comers, Rickard Rakell, who's been around for a while. He's just 25 years old. He's climbed up to 3rd in scoring behind the Finnish dynamic duo, Teravainen and Aho.
Dangerous shot from the point. Nielsen had to be aware, makes a pad save. Adrian Kempe skates it out of trouble. In over the line, gives it to Backlund. Fires wide, and away goes Schneider, giving chase down ice. He's there with Raffel into the middle. Shot! Saved by Nielsen. Austria, a couple of decent looks here in the second. Fans enjoying the vocal stylings of the village people here inside Royal Arena. 3-0 Sweden leading Austria. 13 minutes remaining in the second period. Stefan Ulmer to the left side for Zwerger. Holds up at the line, and Ulmer stepped in ahead of him, offside.
You're right, Austria has generated a couple of chances in the last few minutes as Sweden's gotten pretty lax, pretty loose now that they're up 3-0, and Rickard Gronberg is working the bench. Even in a 3-0 game, he's seeing his team's play slip, and he's trying to stop it before it gets any worse.
What about the fact there's only 17 skaters in the lineup tonight? I mean, most of these guys play a lot of minutes back in the NHL.
We're 28 minutes into the game. So it should not bother the defensemen, because they got 4 defensemen on this team that can play 33 minutes in a game in the NHL. So if you want to talk about the forwards, yeah, maybe. It's not been particularly physical, not that taxing. I think it's just a collective mental lapse because they're feeling pretty casual.
Puck at the blue line. Shot was stalled in front of Anders Nilsson. Up from behind the net comes Zwerger. Shumnik down to help out. Dumped out the center by Elias Anderson. Delarose. Jacob Delarose with a head of steam, coming in off the right wing, throws it to the middle. And Hudam bothered there, and a turnover. Nyquist with a man in front. Nyquist tries to feed it across, and diving to break it up with Shumnik. There's Nyquist. Delarose, down below the goal line. Looks to the point. Instead cycles back. Nyquist. Lindholm comes across. Magnus Pjarvi from in behind the net tried the backhand wrap, but lost the handle. Everberg running back into the corner, now walks out. Everberg right in front. Alex Rauschenwald throws it down into Sweden's end, and a tired group of Austrians will change. Touch pass to Klingberg. And in ahead of the play, offside. Johan Larsson.
It's a desperate defensive play here by Austria. Good play by Schubnig to get down, get low, and force Nyquist to delay long enough that Altman could get back and get a stick on the puck. That puck has got to zip underneath Schubnig on his way to the ground. Once he's down, there's really nothing for Nyquist to do but shoot it himself.
Spinning and passing there was Ricard Raquel, but missed his man. Zibanejad hustled down ice. Now a turnover. Right in front, Raquel scores! Ricard Raquel with his second of the night.
That was an egregious giveaway from Patrick Spanring. He knows it on his way to the bench, and the wrong guy to give it to in Ricard Raquel, who now has 5 in the tournament. But the play is made by Zibanejad, who chases down the icing and forces the turnover on Spanring, who just doesn't see Raquel for some strange reason. And lets him walk across. He's got low center support, but he puts it right on the sniper stick. Makes no mistake to his backhand to shovel it up and over. But the good feet of Zibanejad beat out the icing, forcing Madlener to move it to Spanring, who then, under duress by Zibanejad, again coughed it up to Ricard Raquel.
And another chance for Sweden. A hot shot off Nyquist's stick. And Madlener grabbed that one. Nyquist circles back, leads it for Adrian Kempe. Hustling to the middle of the ice. Nyquist waits. Great patience. Gustav Nyquist simply outwaits Madlener and lifts it up over his head. Sweden strikes quickly twice, and it's 5-0.
Another example of the high roll with the defenseman, freeing up skilled players for some time and space. And Kempe is having a night playing on the scoring line. And you're right, just the patience of Nyquist to keep shuffling his feet sideways. Here's the speed though by Kempe. Protect it, keep it out in front of you. Find Nyquist through the seam. Omer's watching. Madlener guesses, trusting there'll be some coverage to help. There wasn't. And Gustav Nyquist loves opportunities like that. Shuffle, 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 and upstairs under the bar to make it 5-0.
Roger Bader decides it's time to gather the troops at the bench. A timeout called by Austria.
Now's not the time to lay into the guys either. They're doing their best. They're trying to defend against a much better team. It's more about just trying to lift spirits, re-engage some positivity, as opposed to bury the players who are already feeling pretty low, down 5-0 halfway through a game.
Highly talented Swedish group, defending champions at this event. They've earned medals in 6 of the last 9 world championships.
It's amazing what you can do when you're put in a position to be successful based on your skills. And the most obvious crazy example of that is William Karlsson in Vegas. But Adrian Kempe, we barely said his name the first few games when he was playing 4th line center with Everberg and Elias Anderson. Now he gets on the 2nd line and he's been all over the ice. Has he changed? Is he trying any harder?
Just in the position to do what he's supposed to do.
To use the skills that he has to greater success.
And this is Janmark driving wide to Zibanejad. As a man, What a pass right to the middle. Klinberg was pinching down from the point. A beautiful, skilled, feathered pass.
Sauce.
5-0 Sweden here in the second. Third time in the tournament, Sweden has struck for 5 goals. The opener, they beat Belarus 5-0, and then another 5-0 score over France. And up 5-0 here on Austria at the midpoint of the game. Here comes Austria, Hudam. Lost it, gives it to Gustafsson. Left there for Jacob Delarose with some space. Delarose driving wide, and neat defensive play, knocks it off his stick. Swerger. At the line, Gustafsson. Now Anderson. Thought about the spinorama, but dumps it down low instead. Delarose looking to the right side for Nyquist. All the way back down onto Anders Nilsson.
So you think Nyquist is bothered by the extra shift on the fourth line? Is he needing some fresh oxygen? I think he's more than happy to get out there again.
Absolutely.
Especially in a night where it looks like he'll be able to score some goals.
Into the middle. And mid-laner gobbles it up with 3 Swedes lurking in the high slot.
Tough spot for Larson there. I think he even knows this pass is not for him. Everberg's trying to go all the way through the seam to Päijärvi, and he can't get his own skate out of the way. Otherwise, there might have been another chance for Sweden.
Adam Larsson holds the line, throws it down for Magnus Päijärvi. Oliver Ekman-Larsson moving down the wall. Päijärvi covers for him at the point. Ekman-Larsson tried to throw it to the middle, turns it over. Puck chipped in. Ekman-Larsson takes a bump, but shields it. Now a turnover. Chance right out from behind the net. Came Spanring. Ekman-Larsson to Päijärvi. Mishandles the pass on the tail end of a shift. Puck played out to center. Lindholm breaks that up. Now comes Michael Backlund. 3 Swedes across the line. One-timer high and wide. And Gustav Nyquist. Lindholm has to turn back. Backlund to Nyquist. Kempe. High slot Klinberg to the middle. Lindholm. And he just missed. Kempe. Down low for Backlund. Hampus Lindholm to Klinberg. Swedes putting on a possession clinic here. Hunter Fund hard around the boards. And all the way down the ice. The pressure will not be relieved. Icing call, face-off coming back down to the Austrian zone.
Last chance for Lindholm. Altman, who was on the ice, conceivably should have to stay on the ice due to the icing, but he's feeling the effects of that tumble with Lindholm, so the referees mercifully let him change.
How hurt do you have to be let off the ice? And how's the ref supposed to make that determination?
What's the score? In 5-0, not very hurt.
That's a fair point by you,
In a
Mike
gold medal
Johnson.
game tied,
Maybe a little more sticky.
Jack Edwards, you need a bone sticking out.
Ricard Raquel first on it. Hunter Fun. Couldn't clear. Janmark. In behind the net. Janmark had Raquel in the high slot. He was covered. Raquel to the middle now. Janmark. Hockey picked. Left it to Raquel. Back to the line. Tipped by Mika Zibanejad, but not much juice on that puck. And David Laner covers up.
This first line is really something to watch. They have got a great feel for each other right now. Raquel, Zibanejad, Janmark. You get a sense of the offensive production. In the first period, Sweden had 14 shots. The first line with their first pair of defensemen, Larson had 8. The second line with their defensemen had 4. The third and fourth line had 1 each. That's kind of how the offense has run. Through that first line and with great efficiency when they're on the ice.
And of course, with all these roster spots, strong potential to add.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if Team Sweden is not cheering for Nashville. They want their fellow Swedes to do very well, but as Adrian Kempe picks up a hooking penalty, one of the fastest skaters on the ice, no need to hook anybody ever. If you move your feet, you don't need to do that. Good call by the referees, but if Nashville were to lose, Philip Forsberg, Victor Arvidsson, Mattias Ekholm are all on Nashville. Kalle Järnkrok. I mean, there are several to choose from. Some of the other ones are a little bit nicked up.
Lots of talent there.
If Nashville loses, we're going to see half that roster come over here. The two potential spots on the Swiss roster.
Ryan Ellis for Canada.
They'd take him in a heartbeat.
Don't really have a true power play quarterback on Team Canada. Aaron Ekblad scored a decent number of goals this year, but
I think they made overtures to get Brent Burns over, but was not able to come. Marco Vlasic,
more defensive-minded guy, but
different kind of player. PK Subban plays for Nashville.
Colton Parayko was a late ad for Canada last year.
He can shoot it, my goodness.
Stepped into the tournament and was one of their better players from the time he got here to the end of the tournament. Scored a few goals for them. He was an early addition to the team this year. Chance as Hudam splits the D, but ran out of real estate, had to go behind the net. Schlacker down low. Komaric back to Schlacker. Zwerger to Komaric. Schlacker had moved into the middle of the ice. Back comes Austria. Puck knocked down onto Medlaner. Marcus Schlacker. Starting out. Word out of Herning that the Danes have taken a 1-0 lead over Finland.
What?
Franz Nilsson with a goal. Weak shot in from the point, goes wide. Puck chipped down below the goal line. Adam Larsson is there. Johan Larsson clears for De La Rose. He was back at even strength. Thrown through the crease. Kempe was lurking. Larsson. Back pass for Kempe. Adrian Kempe passes to himself. Darts around in the offensive zone does Adrian Kempe.
Not the first 2 games he did not. I mean, really, it's amazing how much different he is out here.
Tell a player he's a first or second line player. He plays like it. Nyquist.
Didn't want the breakaway.
Along the lines of should have shot. Nyquist will get another chance here. Some room at the side of the net. Tried to tuck it in. Laid back to the line. Gustafsson winds, fires, looking for the stick of Gustav Nyquist. And David Madlener hangs on. 5-0 Sweden late in the second. Just before we went to break, you might have heard the crowd erupt into a big cheer, and that's because the in-arena announcer gave the score of the Denmark-Finland game over in Herning. They've taken the 1-0 lead, as we said. The delight of many of the Danes here watching. They chose Herning to be home base for Team Denmark at this year's event. It's a smaller town. Dangerous play there by Madlener. Zibanejad was lurking. But it's a hockey-crazy town, is Herning. They've been getting great crowds. And so they decided, with Sweden so close by, they would put the Swedes here and the Danes down in Herning. And the event has gone off really well down there.
And a lot of the bigger name players that are Danish reside there. Freddie Andersen's from Herning. He's playing against Finland. Looks like they tied it up 1-1 in that game now, so they're not going to go down to the host country easily.
Sebastian Aho with the tying goal in that game.
He's got 12 points in 4 games. Crazy.
Finnish fans walking around town in Herning, dressed up as the Finns usually do, but this year they're carrying around pictures of the players' faces. And I'm talking giant pictures of just their faces. No name, no label, no nothing.
Interesting.
Just a face. I saw Sebastian Aho's face in a cafe when I was there earlier this week. Chance off the right side. Backlund fires wide. Michael Backlund to the middle of the ice. Nyquist, who had about 3 opportunities his last shift, gets turned away. Lebler dumps it deep. Klingberg is there. Knocked ahead for Kempe. Klingberg over for Nyquist. He's waiting for Kempe to get open. Instead fires it hard off the end boards. Zibanejad leaves it for Ekman Larsson. Turnover. And Lebler looked like he had some real estate. And 3 Swedes converged. And a backhand onto Anders Nilsson. Easy save for Nilsson, who has not seen much rubber so far.
Well, we did face a breakaway. We can remember back in some point in the second period, Schneider took off on a breakaway and was turned aside by Nilsson. But not much going on right now for Austria. It's been all Ricard, Raquel, and Team Sweden.
Who would you expect to be in net for Sweden against Russia when that game rolls around? Nilsson, Hellberg on the roster as well.
It's so hard to say, because can I tell if Anders Nilsson's playing well based on this game? Can I tell that he's playing well based on the game against the French? 14 shots then, he might get 14 shots again tonight. It's hard to evaluate players, goaltenders, anybody when the teams are so outmatched and the game's lopsided. If I had to guess, I'd probably guess Hellberg at this point.
Away comes Delarose. Snapshot up over the glass. Canada facing a bit of that as well. Adrian Kemper began the tournament against the United States. Now, McElhaney had joined the team late. Kemper had practiced every day, so they gave him that start. Didn't play great.
Yeah.
And then they gave McElhaney the next 2 games on back-to-back days.
Against who, though? Easy
Fair
teams
enough, against
where,
Korea
yeah,
and the hosts.
and Denmark. Well, it's not quite as easy, but certainly outmatched by Canada.
But it also adjusted the rotation.
Yes.
So that if
They keep going every other game.
Finland
McElhaney takes Finland.
would be McElhaney's game, which I think they want to see McElhaney face Finland. Adam Larsson, the defenseman, doing some dangling in the offensive zone, which he seldom does back in North America.
You know, though, I watch Adam Larsson play in this tournament, and we know what he's good at. He's physical, good shot suppressor, stay-at-home defenseman. But the way that Sweden plays, and you can see the guys having a chuckle with him on the bench, and the way that he plays, I think his game can grow. As John Klingberg is saying, what was that? When was the last time I saw you below the goal line dangling out in front? But he can learn to become more confident and maybe apply some of the time and space things that he learns from watching Lindholm, Klingberg, Ekman Larsson go, and then apply them to do more of it when he gets back to Edmonton next year.
High shot, saved by mid-laner. Larsson, I mean, he's a shutdown defenseman. And,
yes.
you know, Taylor Hall's up for the Hart Trophy this year. People in Edmonton are forever going to look back at that trade. Oilers won the trade in the first year. Larsson was great his opening season. Really struggled this year.
Oilers never won that trade, Ryan.
If you take it year to year, Mike, you can kind of...
No, even the year before, they never won that trade. That's not Adam Larsson's fault. Doesn't mean he's not a good player. Just means he's not as good as Taylor Hall. He was based on need. They needed a defenseman, a right shot, shutdown guy, and they gave up a massive price. But they had great team success, and all that is fine. And none of that's a reflection on Adam Larsson, who is what he is, and that's a very good NHL defender.
Absolutely.
And in some ways, it's almost unfair that Taylor Hall does so well this year, and people want to ask Adam Larsson about it. Like somehow he's responsible.
Puck bouncing up over mid-laner. Did take Hall a little while to get settled in New Jersey.
Once he did, though.
Boy, oh boy. 5-0 Sweden after 40 minutes here in Copenhagen.
Introducing the 2018 IIHF Player Statistics. Team Statistics. Line updates. And introducing Guessing Game. Predict each game's final score. Win points and compete with hockey fans around the world. In your own language, the 2018 IIHF app, powered by Showtime. Download it now from the Apple App Store and Google Play. Showtime.
out at 17, 2 minutes, 30.
Anders Nilsson and Team Sweden leading 5-0 through 2 periods. There's 10 shots he's faced in this game. Sweden has thrown 30 on a David Midlaner. Ricard Raquel leading away with 5 shots. 16-6. The shots on net in that second period.
Maybe a bit of an issue here with the ice. The center guys are taking a look at one of the gouges. It should not be there. They just flooded. You think it would be, if it was ever going to be smooth and filled in, it would be right now. The players can be very finicky though. They know, they find them. There's a mark, they find it.
And again, goes back to a new building that hasn't had a lot of nights with ice in it.
No, first time they put the ice sheet in was for this World Championships. So there have been moments where with the amount of traffic the ice has had on it every single day, 3 games a day, 2 games a day, morning skates, practices, which have now been canceled. The time when it breaks away, chips, little pockets develop, and safety being the #1 concern for everybody. Take time to fill it in and try to smooth it out as best they can.
Fans filling in the time, doing a little dancing. The Danes feeling pretty good tonight. Their host team giving Sweden a pretty good run, or checked out Finland a pretty good run for their money down the road in Herning. 2-1 after
Up
2 down there.
2-1.
They're up, yes.
So they're doing more than giving a run for the money there. They're taking it to them right now on the scoreboard. They do have Freddie Anderson in net, Toronto Maple Leaf goaltender. We'll see if they can hold off the high-powered Finns. There are lots of top of Pool B permutations based on the result of that kind of game.
So the problem is fixed, and we are ready to drop the puck. Third period action now underway. Oliver Ekman-Larsson for Adam Larsson.
One thing to watch in this period, just watch how Oliver Ekman-Larsson passes the puck. It is flat, it is hard, and it is on the tape where his receiver wants it. Boom,
Like that.
Like that. It does not bob it around. It's awesome.
Adam Larsson in the offensive corner. That's it for Ricard Raquel. Adam Larsson misses Ekman-Larsson with the pass. And Sweden will regroup. Fresh set of players check in. Ekman-Larsson, tape to tape for Michael Backlund. Gustav Nyquist dumps it down, looking for Kempe. And here's Klingberg. Good stick handling there from Martin Shumnik. This is Komarek now across the line, had a body going to the net, and the pass got knocked down into Anders Nilsson.
Gustav Nyquist on the back check, and his good hand-eye helped out in this case, because if that one gets through, it's a one-timer on the back door for Altman, or for Heinrich. But Nyquist taps it down. Nilsson makes the cover. I'm sure that was the message after 2 periods from Carl Gronberg. Just play defense, guys. Be smart, be responsible, and any offense you want will come by playing that way. Focus on your own end first.
It's points night, Mike. Got to stop players from thinking that way.
You're talking my language. Don't get, the players know that. The coaches know that. But the coaches don't want to let the players get away from how they are supposed to play. Even though we've seen it so many times at every level, when games get out of hand, game plan starts to break apart, and guys start looking to score and have some fun out there, casual, risky, all the things that coaches dislike in your game inevitably come out just due to human nature, games like this.
And not to mention Anders Nilsson
Got a shutout going?
As they're yet to allow a goal in the tournament. But
Yeah.
yes, as the shutout going tonight.
I've been calling them midway through every game. I don't worry about it.
Not a superstitious type, are you?
No, I'm not a net. I don't care.
Might bother some Swedish fans. Ekman Larsson, hard slap shot. The big defenseman. He really winds up, doesn't he?
Well, when you're 6'4", got a big arc to your swing. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson's a really interesting player NHL-wise because we know how great he is, but he's been down in Arizona, a team that's had their ups and downs on and off the ice. His contract has got one more year in it, and he'll be an unrestricted free agent. He has a decision to make. Not the Coyotes, who've already said very clearly they want to re-sign him no matter what. But Ekman-Larsson has a decision to make.
There he is off the right side. Ekman-Larsson almost puts one in. His ears were burning.
They have been all period. He's had a couple chances like that throughout this tournament. A high roll to his offside, loses his check, and he actually goes in all alone. But that's his decision. I mean, he's the right age right now, 26 years old. He'll be 27 when his contract expires next summer. Does he want to commit to 8 more years in the desert? And if he commits to 8 more years in the desert, will they be all in the desert? A new building's an issue.
Is there any way Arizona can, I mean, you need an answer at some point.
You got to
let it go too long. I mean, with each game that passes, the value.
John Tavares situation right now?
Well, exactly. Exactly, and they need assets in return for a franchise player if they're going to move them, but the Islanders have rolled the dice. Will Arizona do the same?
John Jake has not been playing coy with his idea. He said, yeah, we want to sign him. We are going to offer him a good deal on July 1st this summer. So you have a pretty good idea, just like the Islanders did last year, where his head's at. This summer, you won't need to wait through next year. But if he says no, then it gets sticky.
It gets very tricky at that point.
Face to your franchise, your best player. Trying to get a new rink, trying to get public support for it. Lots in play with that decision, as there will be in Ottawa with Erik Karlsson and LA with Drew Doughty.
And it's an interesting landscape for defensemen right now as the puck is chipped in behind the net. You've got John Karlsson potentially becoming a free agent here as Washington Capitals are on a nice run. Tough to think they have any interest in letting him go, but that is going to be a steep number on a career year.
Yeah. They rewarded TJ Oshie in a pretty similar situation with an 8-year deal. They had to do one or the other. The manager had Raquel for a breakaway. If they had to do one or the other, you'd think they'd pick the defenseman over the forward just because of the importance of the position. We'll see. We'll see how much. I imagine they'll have some suitors on the open market. Right shot power play defenseman that can pile up points.
Absolutely.
Especially quarterbacking a power play.
And a good power play in Washington. With Ovechkin is the trigger man. .30 remaining in the third period. Sweden with a very comfortable lead over Austria here. Likely heading to a perfect 4-0 on the tournament. 3 points awarded for a regulation victory. 2 for an overtime or shootout win. Austria currently with 1 point after a shootout overtime, check that, an overtime loss in their opener against Switzerland. Larsson down in the offensive corner again. Gives it away. Godam working his way in off the right side. It's a hard hit from Larsson, who came all the way back.
Apparently Adam Larsson did not get the no-hitting in a 5-0 game note. I distribute it to everyone when I get these games. Apparently he did not want to receive it.
He's probably angry that he turned the puck over, so Godam got the brunt end of some frustration there. Puck thrown back across the seam. Godam will clear.
Will get harder for Sweden going forward, though. They get Slovakia next, then the Swiss, then Russia. So their competition will be ramping up. They've had one close game, 3-2 over the Czechs. The next 3 games will be competitive affairs.
And that game against Russia is going to be something else. Nyquist had his pocket picked. Another chance, saves made. Especially if both teams get some reinforcements.
I wonder if Russia's got a pretty full roster.
Michael Backlund on the wall in his own end. Takes a hit from Spanring. Lays it up for Kempe. Skating well tonight. Avoids a check. The Schlacker had him zeroed in. Kempe with a word for him.
School of Adam Larson.
Now chases Schlacker and Kempe sure to dish a little back. Both sides keeping it fairly clean so far tonight.
So Russia has room for one more player. Ryan, you were correct. You know, Sweden's got room for more than that.
Delarose has the puck bounce off his skate. Gets there first. Puck in behind Madlaner. Wall. Anderson back to the point. Erik Gustafsson falling. Shot skitters wide.
Just today, Ryan, Russia, I did add Nikita Gusev, the Olympic star scorer, has not played, and this guy is incredible. It'll be fun to watch him play the rest of this tournament, as well as Nikita Shoshnikov. St. Louis Blue.
Into the middle of the ice, chance here, save Midlaner. Off the bench was Janmark. Stefan Ulmer loses the puck. Janmark into the middle. Oh, what a gorgeous play! Mika Zibanejad with a dangle. Steps around the defender. And that's as nice a goal as we've seen tonight. 6-0.
The highlight reel continues to roll for Sweden tonight. As Mika Zibanejad, the latest add to it. Janmark, oh, hello, how you doing? That's a toe drag right around Komarek. Look at the pull on this one. Cradle and bring it right in beside your feet. You go through your legs. He elected to rock the wrist to get it back out in front of him, and then backhand shovel over top of Madlaner. Mika Zibanejad is putting on a show.
Nothing can stop us, all for one and one for all. That's a translation on the goal song you're hearing after Sweden scores.
Sounds like Three Musketeers to me.
I didn't translate that myself. Back to Copenhagen. This one's pretty much in the bag, but down the road in Herning, a tight affair between the Danes and Finns. Denmark leading 2-1. Wouldn't that be some kind of upset considering how strong Finland has been? Peter Schneider had a breakaway earlier in the game, now with some speed, feeds it across. Michael Raffel couldn't pull the trigger.
Some penalties are smart penalties. This penalty by Ricard Raquel, who turned it over, is a smart one because Raffel's in alone and he's having a word with him saying, hey, come on now, 6-0. You know, really grab my pants at center to make sure I can't get away from you. But it's a good penalty. You're in a tough spot. Raffel's got a step. You're not going to catch him. And watch on the bottom of your screen You see Ricard Raquel making sure that Michael Raffles not getting the back door 2-on-1. Put a little pressure on his penalty kill.
Hampus Lindholm onto the right wing for Jacob Delarose. Past him. Marcus Schlacker. Over the other side for Hudam. Back to Schlacker. Steps in front of his own net. Working his way up ice. Schlacker for Hudam. Lindbergh off the wall. Schlacker's there. Lost control. Chance here for Sweden if they can gobble it up, but they cannot. Hudam on the left wing. Steps over the blue line. Circles up, waits for help, and cycles down low. Hampus Lindholm had his feet taken out. Everberg. Dennis Everberg in the KHL this year. He's played 70 career NHL games, all with Colorado. Magnus Piarvi has worked penalty killing into his toolbox as an NHL player as well.
Might keep him in the NHL. That defensive acumen for Magnus Piarvi.
Drafted as an offensive player, but never really developed the offensive game in the NHL. All kinds of speed, but that part of his game never really came around. Took him some time to become a regular. He's even on waivers at one point this year. After a lengthy stay with the St. Louis Blues, found a home in Ottawa.
Pretty impressive by Sweden, who had the puck for about a minute and a half of that power play. Of Austria's power play.
I don't know what the percentage is, time of possession, but
lopsided. We'll leave it at that.
It's got to be in the 70s.
That'd be generous.
Michael Raffel in behind Sweden's net. Calmly knocked away by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back at the point. Down into the corner for Raffel. Raffel with Schneider. Raffel loses it. Mika Zibanejad. Janmark chips it off the wall. And Ekman-Larsson. To the wing for Raquel. Zibanejad. Touch pass for Larson. Didn't have time to shoot it. Touches it down into the corner. Takes a hit. Vivaros around the boards. Zibanejad. Back to Larson. Ekman-Larsson. Right in front had Zibanejad there. A nice pass. And it just hopped over Zibanejad's stick. Shot in on Anders Nilsson. Comes off the stick of Lane Vivaros. 6-0. Sweden leads Austria. Dunkley, the mascot, keeping fans entertained here in a 6-0 one-sided affair during the commercial break.
We got the conga line is broken out again in the Austrian fan zone.
Look out.
They know how to have a good time regardless of the score.
I guess you'd have to, eh?
Yeah. Their tournament will come down to their game to Belarus. they win, they stay up. If they lose, they'll go down. Simple as that.
Gustav Nyquist takes a hit in behind the net. There's Klingberg looking for Backlund, who was tackled in front of Medlaner. Backlund. Pass misses everybody. That'll come down onto Nilsson. The quick up, but Nyquist was too far away, and a hot shot over the head of Nilsson. That coming from Dominic Heinrich. Janmark in over the line. Lebler throws it up ice. Here comes Genau. Genau with a low shot. And Anders Nilsson down in the butterfly makes a save.
Janmark has been all over the ice. And we take a look at Mika Zibanejad's night. Nice little one-time touch to Ricard Raquel for his first. Sick toe drag for the 6th goal, but his first on the night. Another productive night for the #1 center, the unquestioned #1 offensive center on Sweden.
Goal campaign for Zibanejad.
It's taken a long time to get there through his years in Ottawa and into New York to become that #1 guy that can really be counted on consistently. He's now that in New York, and he certainly has been that in this tournament. Him and Ricard Raquel, along with Janmark, have been great.
Puck in the near side corner. Austria looking to try and get something in on Anders Nilsson, who's been perfect so far in the tournament. Into the slot. Oh, Jeff's there for Genau. And Genau turns it over. Janmark pushes it up ice.
The conga line has now reappeared, dancing their way down behind the Austrian bench. They worked the concourse for a couple exits and now are back in the stands. It is fantastic.
And the Swedish fans clapping along.
Yep, joining in some of them.
Why not? Middle of the ice, chance, snapshot, scores! Off of a steal, Magnus Piarvi takes the feed and buries up high. First goal of the tournament. The Ottawa Senator.
He doesn't want to hear anything about his offensive game not coming around, apparently. Because Piarvi's had lots of chances as he generates with his speed, but this is actually a pretty nice shot over the blocker of Madlener as Klingberg gains the zone, kicks it back out to the middle. It is a start the bike to get some leverage. You kick that back foot up in the air. There it is. Flex it, place it, and snap it quickly over Madlener's shoulder. Get that monkey off his back, I guess. I mean, it is 6-0. I don't know what monkey's lurking on you, Magnus, but we'll take it, and he'll take it. Feel good about scoring one.
Has played in 3 World Championships now as Piarvi. Bronze in 2010, silver in 11. 3 World Junior Hockey Championships, 2 silver and a bronze there. Pretty heavily decorated.
You play for Sweden internationally, you win medals. Not always gold, but you win medals.
Ricard Raquel stick handling his way. Zibanejad. This is Janmark. Back to the point. Klingberg. Janmark. Klingberg walks the line, dishes it low to Raquel. Ricard Raquel. Spinorama. Zibanejad bank pass, delayed penalty coming up here against Austria. Nilsson has gone to the bench. Rauschenwald touches up, and with 4:52 remaining, Sweden will get a chance to add to their 7 goals.
Team Austria, number 92, 2 minutes, hook.
Swedish fans now full on joining into the conga line, which is stretching about a quarter of the way around the arena right now.
That's great.
Power play here for Sweden. Kempe back to the point for Lindholm. Swings it over. Kempe had the one-timer locked and loaded. Couldn't find it. Gustafsson, left side for Nyquist. Puts it back for Gustafsson. Back to Nyquist, looking in front for Backlund. Pass missed him. Kempe.
He wanted to catch it. He's like, that might hurt my hand, so I'll try to pull it out of the way at the same time.
No shame in just letting that one whistle by you.
That's what the glass is for.
Power play or not.
7-0.
Haven't seen a ton of block shots tonight, have we?
Sweden won't shoot it if you're in the way. They just wait till they have an empty net.
Pass it around. Kempe, back for Lindholm. Return to Kempe. Bumper, that is Nyquist. Setting up, back to the line, Lindholm. Nyquist. Here the fans serenading these teams in the background.
Conga line, you see at the bottom of the screen, has snaked itself so big it's around half the rink. Austrian and Swedes together, or Austrian and the Swedish fans together.
How about Mika Zibanejad doing some more dangling to get it into the offensive zone? His hands are on tonight. Back to the point, Ekman Larsson. Jan Klingberg. Ekman Larsson. Back to Klingberg. Oliver Ekman Larsson walks the end of the blue line, gives chase down into the corner, and bails, stick and all. Puck played off the glass. Sweger working in over the line. In the vicinity of Nilsson, but throws it back to the point. Raffel over to the wall, and Janmark grabs it. Now Klingberg, the defenseman, moving up on the rush all by himself against 3 Austrian defenders. Autumn, Swerger, played down into the corner. Austria, the 17th ranked team coming into this event, playing in the top division once again, first time since 2004. And interesting to note, Mike, that the last 5 times they've bumped up to the top division, right away they've been knocked back down.
Yeah, but with Korea on the other side, likely to go over. I think it's safe to say. If they don't come last in this division, as we get a look at just the magic in the stands, different countries having fun together in a blowout, lopsided game, but they don't care. They're enjoying the moment, enjoying supporting their countries and meeting new people. Some of the great stuff about the World Championships. But Austria has 1 point. Belarus has got none so far. Whoever wins that game will have the tiebreaker, assuming that they don't want to pick up any more points. Even if it's an overtime or a shootout, if Austria wins, they'll have enough to get past Belarus. If Belarus wins 2-2, but they'll have the tiebreaker in points, so it will come down. If they win that game, they stay up.
Lots on the line. Looking to participate in back-to-back tournaments. Meanwhile, down the road in Herning, Nico Granlund has tied the game between Finland and Denmark.
Wow.
Late in the third period, looked like the host Danes were ready for the big upset, but quite frankly, even pulling a point off of Finland is a big deal.
Well, there's 3 powerhouses in Group B. US, Canada, Finland. After that, it's a crapshoot. Latvia, Korea, Germany, Denmark, Norway. Norway's had a nice little run, but they haven't played the tougher teams yet. So it's going to be one of Norway, Germany, Denmark that gets 4th. That's a massive boost for one of those countries to get to the quarterfinals.
Delarose drifts it back to Larson at the point. Narvi working hard on the boards. Pushes it forward. Throws a body. Magnus Pjarvi. Taking seconds off the clock. Held in at the line by Larson. Looks to the middle of the ice. Larson on the dish. Snapshot saves made by mid-laner. Puck still there. And as Pjarvi was down, he hooked at it and almost got it to go. Rifle towards the net. Adam Larson takes a bump. Backhands it towards the front of the net. Congo line still going as we're into the final 20 seconds. Everberg took a hit. Played out to center. Lindberg on the steal. Lindberg right in front. And it's pushed out of harm's way. Now a shot in from the point. That skitters wide, and that will do it here at Royal Arena. A convincing 7-goal performance from Sweden. Anders Nilsson remains perfect in the tournament. Back-to-back shutouts for him. Sweden improves to a perfect 4-0.
Official timekeeper of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by Christian Emerson, Deputy Mayor of the City of Copenhagen. The best player from Team Austria, number 9, Alexander Auchenwald. Sweden, number 93, Mika Sivaniak. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Sweden.
on your goal, were you thinking that Raquel was going to pass it to you the whole time?
Yeah, I was ready for it. I know he has a really good shot, but I knew he can make plays too, so I was ready.
Your line seems to be playing its best game every game you come out. Are you surprised at how quickly you guys have developed chemistry?
Yeah, I think we got a good first game there and kind of built off of that. And then last game I felt like was a really good game. So I think every one of us wanted to have a good game today. So it was a good answer from us.
Ricard Raquel has been a man on fire for your team all tournament long. What makes him so special?
He's just a good player, I think. He has it all. He can shoot the puck and pass. He works hard. He's just a really good player. I think it's as simple as that.
So good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
The first period seemed to be going very great for your team. What was working so well?
I think we tried to keep the game simple, but I think we're still not doing a great job of doing that. You know, getting pucks out and getting pucks deep. I think we gotta get a lot better in order to win the next 2 games.
What's the talk like on the bench as the game goes on?
I mean, Sweden is a world-class team. It's kind of hard to play against them. But like I said, we gotta keep sticking to our game plan, and we didn't do that today, and I think it showed on the scoreboard.
Aside from the game plan, did you feel like the team was running out of energy near the end?
I mean, I don't know. I felt fine energy-wise. It's probably tougher on the D-man and D-zone, but I mean, yeah, they're cycling a lot. I know what to tell you.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.